This is Southern Cross News with Rachel Williams.
Good evening. The Tasmanian Labor Party has unveiled its extensive lineup of election candidates, with Burnie Mayor Anita Dow set to run for the seat of Braddon. Federal opposition leader Bill Shorten also addressed party faithful at today's state conference, vowing to reverse penalty rate cuts.
A fresh new lineup to rival a looming state election. A number of well-known candidates now endorsed, Burnie Mayor Anita Dow ending months of speculation.
I believe that it's time for the next generation of Labor leaders to stand up in Braddon, and that's why I'm putting myself forward.
Ms Dow will step down from council duties in October, while tensions weren't felt amongst candidates in Denison. Amid predictions, the high-profile Tim Cox may push out current MP Madeleine Ogilvie.
I think Labor can win 3 seats in Denison. I'm not here to unseat anybody.
More than 6 candidates are now on the tickets for Denison, Braddon and Lyons.
In some of the instances, we've got 6. It's been a method that's been used in the past to great success, so we see it as a great opportunity to present more people for Tasmanians to vote for.
As motions were debated, the federal opposition leader made a flying visit, quick to draw party battle lines and election promises.
There is an exciting story to be told in Tasmania, but it's got to make sure that everyone gets included.
We'll reverse the tax cuts for millionaires, and we'll restore the penalty rates for battlers.
Tomorrow, Rebecca White will deliver her first keynote address to the state conference as leader. And with 26 endorsed candidates in tow, it'll no doubt be a clear look to the upcoming election.
Rebecca White can only offer a hung parliament or a minority deal with the Greens.
We're campaigning for majority Labor government. I won't be doing deals with anybody.
Jacqueline Robson, Southern Cross News.
A West Moona teenager has died in the second fatal crash on Tasmanian roads in 2 days. Police say the car was being driven by a learner driver who lost control just after 6 o'clock this morning. The car is said to have crashed into a power pole roof first. The 16-year-old girl died at the scene. The 20-year-old driver is being questioned by police. Alcohol has not been ruled out as a contributing factor. Tasmania's Health Minister has taken a swipe at a parliamentary inquiry investigating the state's troubled health system. Michael Ferguson says he'll cooperate with the probe when it begins next week.
The timing is interesting, given that we've just brought down the largest ever health budget with the single biggest increase in the health budget, and in the year before an election the timing is interesting, but we'll nonetheless provide that inquiry of 3 with all of the information that we feel is helpful.
The inquiry will look into funding for the health system and demands facing acute health services. Legislative Councillor Rob Valentine will chair the committee. Salmon giant Tassal has today renewed an invitation to Tasmanian chefs to tour its production facilities. The call comes after some of the state's top chefs says they would boycott Australian salmon over sustainability and certification concerns. Last night, the EPA approved Tassal's controversial waste collection system to be used in Macquarie Harbour. Tens of thousands of Australians have today vowed to give up alcohol for a month. The Dry July campaign raises money for cancer prevention organisations. For the second year running, this Hobart local is getting behind the pledge, already raising $200 for Cancer Council Tasmania.
Cancer doesn't discriminate, and it does take its toll on a lot of families. So it's just something that, as Australians, we really need to look at. If you can just get one step closer to finding a solution or just easing that pain for them, that would always be a bonus.
In 1 month alone, over 11,000 Australians are diagnosed with the disease. The Australian Girls Choir will dance and sing its way across Tasmania as part of a national tour. 56 performers entertaining a crowd on the tour's first stop at Cataract Gorge this afternoon.
They're all part of different choirs. This group of 56 girls is actually 24 different choirs from across the nation, and they audition to come together for national tour.
The choir will also perform in Launceston and Hobart this week.
In the TSL, a 13-goal second half helped Clarence to a big win over Devonport. the Roos didn't put a foot wrong in their 89-point demolition. In other games, a scrappy contest at West Park finished with Hobart City Demons beating Burnie. Matt Joseph starred for Glenorchy in its win against the Tigers, while Alex Hill and Thor Boscott took control for Lauderdale to claim the points over Launceston. After a brilliant opening quarter which saw Launceston earn a 3-goal lead, fortunes turned sharply in the second. The Blues kept scoreless for the term as Lauderdale put on a clinic. Dylan Fife, the go-to guy for the Bombers, his side chased harder and was duly rewarded. Lauderdale looked like flag contenders in the premiership quarter, booting 7 goals to 1. Big contributors included Alex Hill with 5, while returning from suspension, Thor Boscott kicked 3. Launceston outscored the Bombers in the final quarter, but it wasn't enough to reverse the final result. Twin Ovals produced a classic between two sides fighting for a place in September. Glenorchy got a 4-goal jump in the opening term, but the Tigers had the stamina, clawing back to within a kick by the main break. Aaron Vince impressed with the response.
With that run from behind, which is really good at the moment, because that just sets up so much play moving forward.
But Glenorchy broke down the Tigers' defence, a 5-goal third term, including this great run clearing the way for Matt Joseph to goal. Joseph went on to kick 2 more, he'd become the dominant forward for the game. Glenorchy cruised home in the last quarter to seal a 25-point win. Tasmanian rower Megan Volker has lost her quarter-final heat at the Henley Royal Regatta in London. Volker was rowing in the women's fours. The crew lost by just under 2 lengths to be eliminated from competition. Double wins for the Hobart Chargers in the Seaball overnight. 29 points to Kathleen Shears sealed a 5-point upset for the women's side over Geelong, while the men held off a second-half fight-back by the Supercats to claim victory. Anxious to snap a 4-game losing streak, the women's side got straight down to business. Kylie McCauley led the charge, scoring 8 points in the first period. The team's fast, skilled play caught Geelong off guard. The Supercats entered the encounter with 9 successive wins under their belt and no reason to stop now. Attempts to clear a path, though, stamped on by Michaela Roof, her defensive efforts lifting those around her. In offence, Alex Chapatoni put the game out of contention. She scored 12 points in the second half. The Chargers finishing up winners 97-92. The cheering continued at the deck in the men's game. The squads evenly matched on paper, but it was all Chargers on the court. Chris Whitehead and Tommy Garlop, the dynamite duo in the opening half, together helping to create a 15-point buffer by the main break. But the Supercats showed spirit, clawing back courtesy of Nathan Herbert. Unstoppable around the basket, he sent home 31 points off his own back. The visitors got within 3 points in the final 90 seconds, but Hobart held on in a heart-stopping finish to win by 5 points. Devonport's Wayne Stubbs has claimed the World 8-ball title as part of the Australian Masters team in Blackpool, England. Stubbs won 60% of his matches, making him the best performer in the 6-man team. Australia defeated Ireland in the final to win the championship. And finally tonight, hundreds have turned out to see 3-time premiership player Darryl White carry Rochelle to a big win over Deloraine in the Northern Tasmanian Football Association. White was a special guest as part of the league's Aboriginal round. The 44-year-old kicked 5 majors for the game.
I gave off what I could and pushed blokes around and prodded blokes here and there, and look, they listened, and obviously, we got up by a good score. So look, it's fantastic, and more of these days should happen.
An Aboriginal opening ceremony took place as part of the action.
Welcome back. It was mostly a beautiful, crisp winter's day today after a very chilly start. Hobart, Launceston and Burnie all 10 degrees, while Devonport reached 11. 13 was the best today at King Island, Smithton, the Friendly Beaches and Eddystone Point. Flinders Island, St Helens and Strawn reached 12. Wynyard, Lowhead and Maria Island 10 degrees, while Lyawini got to 9 after a -10 start to the day. The satellite picture shows an extensive band of middle and high-level cloud spanning from northern Queensland all the way to New Zealand, associated with a deep trough over the Tasman and Coral Seas. Low-level cloud lies mainly over the north and northwest of Tasmania, with patches of high-level cloud moving over the state. Tomorrow's chart shows the high-pressure system dominant over the east of Australia, centred over northern New South Wales. A cold front lies to the southwest of Tasmania. Looking to the coast, and northwesterly winds 10 to 20 knots, although 20 to 25 knots in the west and 25 to 30 knots about the southwest. Seas 1 to 2 metres, reaching 2 to 5 metres in the southwest. A road weather alert for black ice has once again been issued for most of the state, and there's a strong wind warning between Southeast Cape and Low Rocky Point. Looking ahead to tomorrow, Hobart will be mostly sunny and 12, while Richmond and Ouse will both have frosty starts. Launceston and Devonport will both reach 13 degrees with another frosty start for Deloraine. Burnie, Strawn and Curry all expected to hit 13 degrees. St Helens and Swansea are looking mostly sunny and 14 degrees. To the forecast, morning frost and fog for Monday. Showers developing about the northwest in the morning, extending to remaining districts in the afternoon and evening. Showers easing during the afternoon and evening on Tuesday, and Wednesday showers about the west, south and Bass Strait Islands, fine elsewhere. Tomorrow, a few showers for Cairns and Adelaide, sunny in Melbourne and Sydney, a frosty start in Canberra and Alice Springs. And right now it's clear and 5 degrees in Hobart, 7 and cloudy in Launceston and 8 degrees in Devonport. Well, that's all your news for now. Thanks for joining us. Have a safe evening. I'll see you tomorrow at 6. Good night.